Thank you for choosing to donate your time as a registration volunteer at one of our upcoming Take Steps for Crohn's and Colitis walks. This video is meant to be a brief overview of your role on Walk Day and the impact it will ultimately play in helping us to achieve our mission. The mission of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation is to cure Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis and to improve the quality of life of children and adults affected by these diseases. There are approximately 1.6 million Americans suffering from these diseases. Unfortunately, there are 70,000 newly diagnosed patients each year, with the fastest growing patient population being children under the age of 18. The Take Steps program provides a unique opportunity for patient families and companies to get involved across the country in the fight to find cures. In 2016, there were 130 walk sites that, combined with national sponsorship, raised $10.5 million. Your role as a registration volunteer is one of the most important on Walk Day, and is one that we only offer to our most trusted volunteers. This is because we only get one chance at a first impression, and all of our participants come through the registration and check-in tent as their first stop. It's really important that you follow the instructions in this video and then go back to your local walk manager to find out the localized details that you need to perform your job on Walk Day. Typically, we ask that all of our registration volunteers arrive on site ready to volunteer a minimum of 1 hour prior to the open of the registration area. This is to ensure that you have plenty of time to set up your registration area, to participate in the last minute day of training, and are able to ask any questions that are needed. You will also have the opportunity to meet your fellow registration volunteers and further localize your plan for troubleshooting. Another important role that all of our registration volunteers play is ensuring that all of our participants that come through the registration area have either donated or fundraised something. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation is proud to report that over 80 cents out of every dollar goes directly back to fund our mission. That is compared to 65 cents of the national average. Don't forget to follow up with your local walk manager that you've completed this video and that you understand and have reviewed the local registration instructions. Have fun with this, and remember that we are so thankful that you have decided to be one of our most trusted and important event day volunteers. Let's now focus on the registration process itself. To begin, welcome the participant and ask them if they have registered online. They will either answer yes or no. If they answer yes, find their name on the list provided to you and check them in. For large groups, it is best to use the alpha sort by team name. For smaller groups, it is best to use the alpha sort by last name. The next and most important question is, do you have any donations to turn in today? If they answer yes, ask them to place their donation or donations in an envelope and to completely fill out the front and back. This is what the participant envelope looks like. They will need to fill out each donation that is included in the envelope and provide a summarized total at the bottom of checks and cash. On the back of the envelope, the participant will need to fill out the team name, their first and last name, their phone number and email address, and if they have pre-registered online, they do not need to fill out their address. Make sure that they sign the waiver and have indicated if they have a matching gift program. When it is returned to you, make sure that they have sealed the envelope, that the writing is legible, and that they've noted the amount at the bottom of the envelope. Check that amount against what was reported on your check-in list and combine the total amount raised. If applicable, provide them with an incentive card and X out the items that they did not earn. They are now done with the registration process, and you can thank them for their support of the IBD community and ask them to enjoy the festival and walk. The next type of registration is when somebody has registered online but is not handing in donations today. It is important that you then look at the check-in list and see how much was raised online. If they have raised funds online, hand them an incentive card if they have qualified and cross out the items that they have not earned. If they are registered online and did not raise money and are not handing in donations today, it is important that you ask them to make a donation. Simply say to them, if you have not yet made a donation to another participant, the suggested minimum donation is $50 in honor of the Foundation's 50th anniversary. There are instances where participants may have donated to another participant and it is not reflected next to their name. If they communicate that they have donated and they don't understand why it is not reflected, ask them how much their donation was for, write it next to their name on the registration list, and move forward in the registration process. Now let's talk about handling a registration that is not pre-registered online. If a participant says, no, I have not registered online, ask them to fill out the information on one of the participant envelopes. All participants that are checking in on Walk Day must fill out the envelope, even if they are not making a donation. This is because they must sign the waiver. Once they hand you back the completed envelope, ask them if they are handing in donations today. If they answer yes, ask them to place their donation inside the envelope and indicate how much is being donated today. If applicable, provide them with an incentive card and X out the items they do not earn. If they hand you back the envelope and they are not handing in donations today, once again, it is very important that you say to them, if you have not yet made a donation to another participant, the suggested minimum donation is $50 in honor of the Foundation's 50th anniversary. Please remember that customer service is the #1 most important thing. So if the participant communicates that they have already donated to somebody else, please ask them to write the amount that they have donated and to whom they made the donation to on the envelope, and indicate that $0 is included in the donation envelope today. Proceed through the registration process and hand them any incentive tickets that they have qualified for. Once you are done checking in the participant, remember to hand them any of the provided programs or passports available at your local site. Each site also slightly customizes the items being provided. This might include Mardi Gras beads, leis, and special buttons. There are 3 types of buttons that we will be handing to participants on Walk Day. Refer to the top of the registration flowchart for the itemized list of buttons provided. Buttons are provided for self-donors over $25, for participants who have fundraised over $1,000, and for all of the participants that are on a top team. On the back of the registration flowchart is a more detailed description of the registration process. It is important that you have read this in its entirety in advance of Walk Day. This information will be reviewed again at the retraining on Walk Day. It is then you will be able to ask any clarifying questions. Please note that checks should be made out to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, and that all funds received on Walk Day must be handled by participants, and that at no point should a registration volunteer be handling money. There are more than 1.6 million Americans suffering from IBD. Thousands will gather this year to take steps in hopes to find cures for these devastating digestive diseases. Because of you, participants will be greeted with a smile and will feel appreciated for the millions of dollars raised towards our important research initiatives. support and education programs, and for the camaraderie of teams across the country that come together to celebrate all of the steps taken towards finding cures. On behalf of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, thank you for volunteering your time to help bring us closer to cures. The completion code for this video is 5996.